Hello, everybody, and welcome back once more to Anime Yay or Nay. I am TheOutbackAl.
I'm Chibi Noob.
I'm NV Jitters.
I'm CheerandCosplay.
And I'm Kozi.
And we're back again this week. It's more meme tournament time, and we're taking another look at a third installment of a trilogy that came out when we were young, Spider-Man 3. Because, you know, how could you have a talk about any kind of meme without bringing up the Spider-Man franchise from Sam Raimi? This is... Okay, like, I know we've had a lot of Spider-Man movies, but, like, what's your guys' favorite Spider-Man trilogy, duology, whatever franchise for you guys?
Honestly, the Spider-Verse one.
Oh yeah, does that count?
See, I feel like when it gets a second one,
I think he's talking about, like, do you prefer the Raimi trilogy, the Andrew Garfield two films,
that's
the Tom Holland films?
That's primarily what
Tom
I'm talking
Holland.
about. I feel like Spider-Verse is kind of on its own in that when it's animated, I know that I shouldn't be like, oh, that's different, but like, it is far and
kinda
away
different.
better than all the other Spider-Man movies. So like, yeah, it's like, of course it's Spider-Verse. But like, of the other ones, which one do you guys like the best?
Same.
Although I haven't
think-
seen Garfield.
Okay.
Fields were very unremarkable.
I'd say Tom Holland is my favorite Spider-Man, but I would say collectively, and it's probably purely because of nostalgia, the Raimi films are as a whole, my favorite Spider-Man films. Like, I have a different ranking of them, but as a whole, I would say the Raimi trilogy are my favorite.
Yeah, I think I'm with Envy. I think Raimi's... I think I like those ones the best, but yeah, Tom Holland probably was the best. I think, like, it's kind of this, and I feel like other people have said this, I think Tobey Maguire had Peter right, and then Andrew Garfield had Spider-Man right, and then Tom Holland had both of them right, but he was always just Iron Man's, like, eating Iron Man's leftovers.
Sure.
I think my top three Spider-Man films are Spider-Verse, Spider-Man 2, and Homecoming. Those are my top three.
I also haven't seen... I only saw the first Raimi one. I saw that one in theaters, and then just before recording this, I watched the third one.
So you still
still
haven't
haven't seen the second one.
The second one, which is considered by most to be the best Raimi film.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna marathon all of the Spider-Man movies and prep for the newest one coming out.
All the
Sometime
Spider-Man movies, or just the Tom Holland ones?
No, all of them. They're bringing in villains from every universe.
Oh, that's true. Doc Ock's gonna be pretty big. You're gonna have to watch 2.
Oh yeah.
Well, anywho, as far as I'm aware, the only person they're bringing in from this one was Sandman, so, you know, maybe Venom will show up. I saw the post-credits of the Venom 2 movie, so that might be a possibility. You never know.
Yeah, but hopefully it's Tom Hardy's Venom and not Topher Grace.
They're not going to make that mistake. They wouldn't make that mistake. Like, that's... We should get into this. We can talk about Foreman. So, yeah, this is the third Spider-Man movie. These movies all more or less follow the exact same plot every single time. Peter is, like, you know... They start a little bit different every time. The first one, he's not Spider-Man, and these one, and 2 and 3, he is Spider-Man. But, like, ultimately, it's always like, do I want to be Spider-Man? I don't know. It's messing up my relationships. And then he meets somebody. There's usually, like, someone from his past or someone connected to his personal life that ends up getting superpowers at random. And then he fights, and it goes back and forth, and... This one kind of flipped it a little bit, where
yeah, he's actually like pretty much
Yeah.
everybody in the city except J. Jonah Jameson loves him. And...
Well, you're never gonna win him over, but like he's kind of embracing a lot of stuff more than in the last movie, where he was kind of like, "Oh, this is tearing my life apart." It's tearing his life apart here, but like in a way that's actually fun for him for the most part, so he doesn't notice it. Which is like, I kind of wish they had leaned a little bit more into that to kind of, you know, I have my own theories on how they should have done this movie, but For what it was, he's on the rocks with MJ because he made out with non-character Gwen Stacy. And other things. Harry is a goblin now, except not because he hit his head and got amnesia. Uncle Ben's killer is on the loose again because the guy you killed was not Uncle Ben's killer, and now it's the dude from Wings, and he's a sand person. There's a goo that attached to him that made the black suit, symbiote suit, and he becomes Emo Peter. That's a whole section of the movie. He's now dubbed, what, Bully Maguire?
Bully Maguire.
I think for now we can still call him Emo Parker. But he has his... I feel like he starts Emo Parker and then becomes Bully Maguire. It's a slow progression kind of thing. Yeah, then he... I don't know, has a weird... One of the most bizarre and fascinating to watch scenes in the movie is him at that jazz club with not Gwen Stacy trying to make MJ jealous. And I'm just like, I don't know who came up... Like, I know who came up with it. It was Sam Raimi who came up with this, and it's a very Sam Raimi scene, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, oh my god. I don't even know how to respond to this.
Well, I'm sure you're aware, being a big film guy, that Sam Raimi had no interest at all in putting Venom in the movie. It was Sony that forced them to, basically.
I have no doubt, and I think like you can tell that whenever it's like, when you have 3 villains in a movie... The studio got really involved because, like, I think the max you can have is 2 before it starts to be too much. You can see the same thing. If you see it in this one, you see it in Amazing Spider-Man 2. There's 3 villains in that, technically. Batman and Robin has 3 villains. Like, if you have 3 villains in a movie, in your superhero movie, it's going to be bad. Which makes me a little scared for this 3rd Spider-Man movie that's going to be coming out soon, because they have 6. Or 5 or 6, I don't know.
I think they saw, like, how well Into the Spider-Verse did with what it had going on, and they're like, oh, maybe we can try it with a different one. See,
if they go with it the way that they did in Spider-Verse, I think it could work, because for the most part, there's really only... one villain. And that's the Kingpin. And everyone else is pretty much a henchman. But, like, when you have other movies where, like, everyone is their own villain, it really stretches everything thin.
Yeah,
and it doesn't work.
Well, it looks like Doctor Strange is going to be the villain in the newest one.
Maybe. I mean, that could be interesting.
I mean, Sony for years has been trying to get a Sinister Six film off the ground in some way, shape, or form, and they've always... failed, or it just always fell through. So, like, this is like their
it's difficult
best shot. Yeah, it's like this is their best shot. It's like, fine. And
I feel like a Sinister... sorry, continue.
No, I was done.
Oh no, I just feel like a Sinister Six arc would probably work a lot better as like a series than it would like as anything else.
I feel the exact same way, because it's like, because you have a movie which generally like 2.5 hours, I think is the max you can get for most people, unless you're like Lord of the Rings or whatever, but like that's a bigger time commitment sometimes. Like, that's not enough time to establish 6 characters, all villains, beyond your main character, and all this other sort of stuff that, like, whatever you do, you have to do it Avengers style and, like, set them up in previous movies. Because, like, if you look at the original Avengers film from 2012, there is no character stuff at all. Like, you had to come in and know who all these people were immediately, because it's all just action, set piece, plot, all this other sort of stuff. It's probably, like, from a character structure standpoint, one of the worst movies in the MCU. All of the Avengers
films.
You
say that,
but at the same time, it's very entertaining.
The first Avengers was the first MCU film I ever saw.
Me too.
Wow, my God. I know that... So, okay, so how did you guys feel about it? Did you connect with the characters in that?
Yeah, just mainly because they played off each other really well.
I'll say that they did do well, but like I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna have a bunch of villains, you can't establish them all at the same time. Cause I mean, they really only like fought Loki in that. And I guess Hawkeye's a non-character almost, so you know, we can discount him.
I mean, that's why they're banking on, you know, whether the same versions or a different version of the same villains from the previous films. Like, it's Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2, or at least a version of Alfred Molina's Doc Ock.
Everyone loved him.
A different Willem Dafoe, Green Goblin,
Fantastic.
and then Sandman, Electro, and Lizard. So, like, maybe they're not the exact same villains that they were from the previous films, but they're the same actors playing them. So that's why they're banking on the, member berries thing.
I feel like it's going to be a little bit like that soft reboot kind of thing that they did with, like, the X-Men franchise a couple times, where they're like, hey, these are the same characters, but we're going to tweak stuff as necessary because we took notes. So.
Did it ever work for them?
I think,
yeah,
some of
the
them
X-Men
did, yeah.
franchise got really popular for a while there.
Yeah, I think X1
I
and
guess.
2 were good, X3 was a trash fire, and then Wolverine was a trash fire, and then they did First Class, and it was like a soft reboot sort of thing. It was like, that was good, Days of Future Past, good, Apocalypse, okay, you shit the bed again, great job. And then I don't think anyone ever watched Dark Phoenix. So...
Haven't even heard of that one.
Oh yeah, it was like right when Fox got bought up, and so
It
it's
was
like
the same story
Yeah.
as The Last Stand, but yet somehow worse.
they can't do the Dark Phoenix saga for whatever reason. They can't film it and do it right.
Well, that's because it was the same guy who wrote Last Stand, also wrote Dark Phoenix.
He already fucked it up. Why did you give it to him again? He literally fucked the same story up twice. Didn't take any notes. It's like a 10-year span between them. He didn't take any notes. Okay. What were we talking about? We're supposed to be talking about Spider-Man. Emo Peter is his own thing. And then it backfires, and he rips the suit off, and then after he, rubs some dirt in Eddie Brock's eye, and Eddie Brock's like, I want to kill Peter Parker. I'm going to go to a church. And because that's where you get hitmen. I don't know. And he gets splashed with venom.
Hitched Man.
For God to
Yeah.
kill him.
Yeah, he wanted
I'm gonna
God to
let
kill
God
him.
fix it, because if I fix it, I'm going to jail.
Well,
I mean, one of the
He
things that Bully Maguire said to Eddie was, you want some forgiveness, go to religion, or something like that.
yeah, get some
so-
religion. He's got some good lines here that are just, like, perfect levels of cheese.
I'm going to put some dirt in your eye.
Yeah, I think that's, like, the one thing I can always say about Sam Raimi. His lines are always cheesy, but they're the just right kind of cheesy.
I don't know, watching this back pretty fresh, because Cece just watched it, it's a lot sillier than I remember.
They're silly,
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
but
the
they're
Raimi
perfect
trilogy are silly-ass movies.
Have you guys
especially
watched
the
Evil
first
Dead?
one.
Oh my god, no one here's watched Evil Dead.
I couldn't
watched the
even
second
hear you
one.
what you said.
Have you guys seen Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness?
I've seen Evil Dead 2.
Okay, that's good.
I've
Is that
heard
also
of
Raimi?
them.
Oh, we're gonna have to hit. I'm sad that it's no longer Halloween. Okay. But yeah, Sam
what I
Raimi
was-
always is cheesy.
I looked up a list of memes in Spider-Man 3 because I felt like I was missing some. I don't think there were many in this movie.
See, that's kind of the thing. Like, okay, we should say like the plot. Eventually, everybody teams up at the end. The villains they try to take down Peter, kidnap Mary Jane because always. Then Harry shows up to team up with Peter, and then they fight, and then everyone dies. Right.
Oh,
I
but
think you're
hold
right.
up, but when I googled that, Google was giving me suggestions at the bottom, like broaden your search. Do you want to look at Spider-Man trilogies? And in the bottom it said Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, Evil Dead. I'm like, what?
Yeah. I like
So-
Sam Raimi movies. They're fun.
I think the thing with this movie is the fact that like part of it's like, and we all know that it's like a lot of cheesy camp, but part of it kind of like, given the year that this came out, it was kind of it was in the middle of everyone's emo era.
I
and
didn't
I
have
feel
an
like
emo era, but okay.
You didn't have one. I kind of did. But I feel like it just kind of like it missed being funny. But I don't know. I think like this one took itself maybe a little seriously. I'm not sure. Considering
they're
it was
trying to- yeah.
for something darker, but I don't know.
I mean, they were trying to adapt, one of the most famous Spider-Man stories with
Yeah.
the black suit, and obviously, broad strokes, it kind of was similar in that, he gets the black suit, he's a jerk, he eventually gives it up, and then it goes to Venom, Eddie Brock, but obviously the way they did it was not exactly well liked by a lot of people.
Yeah, I think it was one of those things where their focus was kind of in the wrong place for the Venom stuff. And maybe it could have been explored a little bit differently. I have like a whole thing. I'm probably not going to do it here because it's just take too long. But I have a whole thing about like what they should have been doing with this movie, and then a fourth one.
No, same.
But
third one, for me, Spider-Man 3 should have just been a personal struggle with Peter the entire film. Whether it be
absolutely.
Sandman and Harry, and then gradually you work the symbiote in, but don't show Venom, and then have him go through grief and struggle throughout the entire film with those two conflicts, and then that leads to Spider-Man 4 with Venom.
Yeah, my thoughts are, you show Venom at the end of Spider-Man 3 to lead into your Spider-Man 4, where at the beginning of Spider-Man 4, Spider-Man is on the run from the police because Venom is killing people pretending to be Spider-Man. You can just throw him right in the shit at that point. Which, weirdly enough, is a little bit of where we are right now with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, because he is apparently on trial for murder.
Yeah.
So, we should talk memes. I don't know if we want to go in order like we did last time, because I actually think the majority of the memes here are a giant clump, as opposed to distribute throughout the film.
Bully Maguire, that's like the big thing with all his lines.
Yeah, and weirdly enough, I think like early on, there were only like one or two memes that kind of came out of it. It was like the sort of like emo I'm sad Peter and weird dancing Peter were like the two back when this came out. But I think like as people got better at like home editing software and stuff, and like green screen and like chroma keying and stuff like that, we've really seen a revival of Bully Maguire being created, where he's just inserted in every other movie or scene and just smacks people around. And I don't know what other memes kind of came out of that one specifically. I think like the put some mud in your eye is definitely one. The you gonna cry?
Little Goblin Jr.
Yeah. What else? There's other things that he's done.
You'll fix this. You'll get your rent when you fix this damn door.
Yeah. I guess you could consider that in Bully Maguire. I was going to consider that just in general memes. But yeah, that's really a Bully Maguire connection. Do we want to count just the... You know what? No, it has to be just the door. Because like, I think just him saying rent is more from Spider-Man 2 than anything else. God, I'm trying to think here.
There's like the light mode, dark mode memes of him with like his hair up and then it bangs down.
Yeah. The one where he looks emo?
Yeah.
I would kind of just count that for one of the original sad ones, like Sad Peter or Emo Peter kind of thing.
No, because there's like an actual meme where it's like sun mode, night mode, and it's like two pictures of the same character. It's a meme setup.
I have to ask, is that a meme on its own, or is it a meme generated from here?
It's a meme like on its own. Like people just use it as a template.
Yeah, then I don't think we can give that a point here.
Okay.
Because it didn't come from here. But, God, how many are we up to now?
I don't
Emo
know.
Peter, Dancing Peter.
Oh, I got one. There at the beginning of the film, whenever Peter and Harry are seeing MJ's play, there's that scene where there's that image where Harry's just looking down all smugly at Peter. People have used that so many times.
Yeah. I don't know what you call that, but I think that makes 6.
The one in the restaurant when he's like looking out the window and he's like, it's so good.
Yes, I love that one.
Oh, yeah.
There's some here where like I was kind of wondering, did after he fights Sandman and he just like kind of like dumps the sand out of his shoes, he's like, where do these guys keep coming from? Was that a meme, or did I just think that should have been a meme?
I haven't seen that, but give the internet a few more years, I'll probably turn that into a meme at some point.
I feel like people have really gone over the Spider-Man stuff. I feel like if they were going to use it, it probably would have happened by now. Makes me a little sad.
I have seen that one, him dumping the sand out of his shoes in response to Endgame.
See, that's... You know what? I'm going to be real. I think that has to go into Bully Maguire. Because, like... Without a doubt.
I forgot about that.
Because definitely the dust and that comes from Endgame. That's Endgame's meme.
Yeah.
Or Infinity War.
Or yeah, Infinity
War? That one.
Yeah. So that's their meme, and I think it's just combining it with Bully Maguire.
I've seen people edit memes of a cat peeing on Sandman.
I feel like
In a
I would
box.
count that. That's yeah, you gotta. Yeah. What else was there?
I mean, this technically isn't a meme at all. I just like how Bruce Campbell has a cameo in every single movie.
You know, there's a weird, like, fan theory that he's Mysterio.
Yeah.
I really like that, and he's like, he knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man because of the first movie, and as it keeps going, he's just, like, researching him until finally he's gonna make his move. And, like, that would have been pretty funny.
Yeah, and
Jeez, this is a
technically
lot.
technically J. Jonah Jameson is like an overarching meme, but I feel like most of his best moments were in the first two films.
Yeah, definitely. Especially the laughing thing. That comes from
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2. I mean, that's the big one.
Him in the spider suit on the desk.
Yep.
Oh my god. They actually cut that. That was actually the deleted scene that was put in the extended edition of that film. It's like, why would you cut that? That's comedy gold.
I feel like I'm only up to 8 or 7. I feel like there's got to be
there
more.
aren't a lot of many here.
Yeah,
I
like
think-
I
It's
think
just Bully Maguire that just took off.
yeah,
So
Bully
I think
Maguire
it's-
just has a lot of power.
Yeah, I think it's just like overarchingly this movie itself is a meme. It's just like the meme content is spread so sparsely throughout the movie that it's just kind of like, can we really name how many there are in this? I don't know.
I
feel
also
like we
think
have.
like this movie also basically got the prequel trilogy treatment where like when the prequel trilogy came out, obviously they were hated, but nowadays they're beloved by people that grew up with it or like memeing the shit out of it. And like the first two Raimi films are considered really great movies, but obviously Spider-Man 3 was hated by a lot of people, and now people are just memeing the shit out of it to the point where they ironically or unironically start to like it.
I don't know. It's still the worst of the 3,
Oh, yeah.
without a doubt.
I mean, I have an unpopular opinion when it comes to the Spider-Man films.
Yeah.
I don't hate any of them.
Hate is such a strong word. I feel like I get too much enjoyment out of this to hate it. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but at the same time, in the same way, I don't hate Batman and Robin. It's a terrible movie, but my God, is it funny? You know, I would have included Batman and Robin in this tournament if it weren't for the fact that, like, there weren't a whole lot of real memes that came out of it other than just Arnold Schwarzenegger making puns.
Well, the Bat Nipples, which technically started in Batman Forever, and the Bat Credit Card.
Yeah, that's like 3. That's it.
Mm.
It's not as meme heavy as you would assume for something that's as lampooned as much as it is. Same thing with this one.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, like we're really stretching to find some stuff here. Was there anything in like the back half of the movie? Because we've really only covered up through where he starts to embrace the suit a little bit. Do we want to count the scene at the jazz club, or is
It's
it
not really
just
a meme,
ridiculous?
it was-
Is that more
Yeah, it's-
Bully
yeah.
Maguire? Could it be considered that?
You know what? You're right. It's Bully Maguire. Bully Maguire has become an umbrella meme. I don't. Okay. We've been counting Bully Maguire as essentially one, and we occasionally give him a second line or two. Should we give Bully Maguire extra points for just how much it's been used?
That's what I was saying. Like, he is basically put throughout a good portion of this movie that he kind of just encapsulates it all. But I don't know.
So Bully Maguire as a concept, what would we? So how do we score something like that as like a conceptual
Every
thing?
single memeable line or moment that he did.
But really, individually, I think there's only like 1 or 2 lines that he actually
More than
has. Okay, what are they?
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye, get some religion.
I don't know that I've heard
photo-
"Get Some Religion" ever as a meme. I've heard "Put some dirt in your eye" and Goblin Jr. crying.
You'll fix this damn door.
I think we
that
counted
photo,
that.
it looks kind of similar.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, no, I've seen it. I've seen it a whole bunch of times. People I've seen people use that copying thing. It's like when something's so blatantly similar, like it's almost plagiarizing.
Okay,
Like,
so we're saying he has 4 lines. We're going to count him as a whole as a meme. I think we can count the dancing thing and the general just sad emo boy shit. And I think there's like one, like a weird face he made. It was probably in like a blooper or something, but I know it's like that. Oh my god, you guys know the face that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Crying face?
What?
The crying face?
No.
There's a scene in the bloopers for the film where, like, he's in the restaurant scene.
No,
he's
it's not
laughing.
the restaurant scene.
Oh. Oh, yes, that old one?
This one.
Ah.
I feel like that's at Harry's apartment.
Looks like
What?
it, yeah.
So why am I reminded of Smeagol when he makes that face?
I don't know. I guarantee you this was a blooper that they were just like that the image just got.
Yeah, I know.
released or something.
I don't remember actually. Because he was in that scene. He was pissed off the entire time. So, except for Little Goblin Jr. But
Yeah, he's got like I'm gonna count just his mugging in general.
yeah.
He's like got a bunch of like and granted, he could probably say this about any of the movies.
The montage.
He's very expressive.
The montage where he dances. I've seen that him dancing.
I think I counted that. The dancing him dancing, that's definitely one.
You know, like
So I think Emo Peter, Bully Maguire has overall created about 10 memes or so, give or take.
The scene where Peter props his feet up on the desk, that's a meme template.
Really?
Yeah, usually like me doing something stupid, and then the cutaway to like Jonah and the secretary and all that is like my mom, my dad, the dog enjoying in the background.
All right, I'll give that a so we'll count that as 11.
And then obviously we got the two Harry memes.
The two Harry memes, that's 13. The two Harry memes were so good, and what was the other one?
Already forgotten.
Oh no, Harry. Okay, he's got
was it
one.
the one in the theater?
Oh, the theater one, that's right. Okay, so that's 13. Does Mary Jane have anything here?
Not really.
Damn.
I mean, she.
Yeah.
I mean, she's kind of unlikable in this movie, if I'm being completely honest.
They did meme Mary Jane going, "It's not about you, it's about me." He's like, Mary Jane, the movie's literally called Spider-Man 3.
I remember seeing that.
All right, I guess I'll count that. She gets a meme. That's 14. Did Sandman have anything?
Well, during their second fight in the subways, like underground, where they think he kills them, Spider-Man says, "Good riddance." I've seen people use that line.
Okay, I'll give that a count. I feel like we're starting to really stretch a little bit for some of these.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to think like the back half of the movie now. Was there anything else? Was there one of like Jonah and the little girl?
Maybe.
Like with the camera?
Probably.
Maybe. I haven't seen any, but I wouldn't be surprised if there is.
It feels like it should have been a thing. Like, especially now, you could like do like a young generation, old generation meme out of it.
This movie was 2007?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who was still using film back then?
A lot of people. My family included.
Professional photographers.
Like for cameras, you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, my family had moved to digital by that time. So.
Yeah.
I think it like really depends on how much money you had, because like even like digital was widely available, but it might not have been like super high resolution at the time versus film.
Yeah,
you can get a pretty consistent resolution for certain things, and you can even blow stuff up. So
My parents were the king and queen of buying disposable cameras at CVS or Walgreens and then developing them later in the store.
yeah.
Oh, I loved getting the disposable ones.
You take them on the field trip to the zoo,
Yep.
Yes.
and then
Good
you
times.
get them back a week later.
Best shit.
So I think we're up to 15 on this.
What did we have last week? 19? Revenge of the Sith, you said?
19 and a half.
Okay.
Because we were counting some as half memes. I don't really know there's a whole lot of half memes here. Because, like, I don't know if the Spider-Man fandom had as much of like deep into it for like that the Star Wars fandom did. So we're not really seeing as many half memes. A lot of those
Raimi trilogy memes are really popular now.
I know, but at the same time, a number of them have to come from like Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 1, which we can't count here, unfortunately.
The one face that was a meme, it looks like this comes from 3.
If it's got the weird side haircut thing, then it's from 3.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, that's
also from
one.
3.
You know what? We're gonna count that one and not the one that I put up because I feel like that's the one.
I feel like they happened in tandem of each other because those are literally the same background.
Yeah, no, it's in the same scene. Like, it's probably from the same blooper. God, that face is so weird.
That's my girlfriend meme.
That's my girlfriend meme?
Is that what that face is?
No. Hold on.
Ah.
That's my girlfriend meme.
Hold up. This is the extension of the theater one. That's the first one, and then you cut, and then the second picture is of Harry, like looking down at him.
Yeah.
So I think we have that one. Because I feel like even the one that you put up, weebs whenever they see a female character in an anime. That's my girlfriend. And then you cut to Harry, my parents. Just like looking at him like, what the hell? Honestly, you could translate that over to the feet on the desk thing too. Yeah, I'm really stretching to think here. I think we got 15 out of this.
Yeah.
That are pretty readily usable. And I think the main thing is Bully Maguire is probably one of the most versatile memes because you can really insert him anywhere. He always does the same thing, more or less, but like it's who he's doing it to that becomes fun.
And a lot of times in the modern video, and a lot of times in the modern Bully Maguire edit videos, they sometimes even edit in clips from the first 2 films, or he's not technically Bully Maguire, but it still works.
Oh yeah. Like I remember like whenever Endgame came out and the portals started opening up, and they're like. One of them was like, "Hey everyone!"
I beat up this. Well,
like,
sorry, I'm late. I had to beat up this old lady
movie.
to get this jar of cranberry sauce.
Yeah, no. I mean, should we talk about some of the other previous memes from these?
Might as well.
Yeah.
Pizza time.
Yeah. Okay, so just so we're clear, 15 does not beat 19.5 from Revenge of the Sith. So Revenge of the Sith still on top for now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But let's talk other memes, like the Thanksgiving thing. But I think you're right. That is a bit of an extension of the Bully Maguire thing, just not him bullying people. Willem Dafoe had a couple from the first one.
Oh, dude! Like almost every line of his is so great. You know,
I'm a bit of a scientist myself.
300 years of human evolution, or whatever that quote is, and you know how much I sacrificed.
Yeah, that one. God, what else was there with him?
I know it's not technically. I know that's not technically a meme. Out am I? I know it's not technically a meme, but I still think my favorite part of Willem Dafoe from the first film, the itsy bitsy spider went down the water spout. Down came the garbage. Oh.
No, he's fun. He definitely was swinging for the fences on that performance, and we got to appreciate him for it. Yeah, what else with him? Like. I think people use that one scene of him on the rooftop where he's like, "We're not so different, you and I." Scene. I don't know if he ever actually says it in the scene, but like, it's that scene.
Yeah, I have seen that one quite a few times.
Yeah, I feel like they're bringing it up more with like the new trilogy again, because it's like they love a hero, but even more they love to see him fail. That was good. Individual I mean, Jonah. Jonah got his start with memes in the first one, without a doubt.
What else? Just the fact that like he's like one of the best castings in superhero history. Like whether it's a main character or not, like J.K. Simmons was born. To play him. He's
perfect. He's a meme in and of himself too. I feel like maybe people should use him more as like a reaction video kind of thing. Cause I don't know, you like half of his responses are just like so over the top and not always like so specific to Spider-Man or Peter. So I think you could use him very easily. What else came from the first one? Oh, Pizza Time came out of 2.
Well, yeah, but that one scene in the first film where he's fighting Flash in the hallway, it's I don't want to fight you, Flash. Yeah, I don't want to fight me either.
The one scene where he catches all of the food and Mary Jane.
Yep.
Do you guys know how they had to do that scene?
Oh yeah, they did. It was like practical, so like they had to do that multiple times.
They did it like 100 times. Like he had to catch
His arm
it.
must have built up some muscle then.
Oh yeah, like it was like some Stanley Kubrick shit. I'm like, why are you doing it like this? It looked cool. It was fine. It's good, but like,
I mean,
it's not the most memorable scene.
No, but I think the effects were probably not up to snuff at the time, to be honest, though.
You can cut around it.
I mean, you can, but still. I think they wanted to just, like, show it visually, which I can understand.
I mean, can you count the upside-down kiss in the rain as a meme, considering how many times it's been parodied and lampooned over the years?
See, I don't know. That's kind of one of those things of, like, you know, The Matrix came out before there was a whole lot of meme culture, but everyone made jokes about it in, like, you know, movies, TV, what have you. So, is that necessarily a meme? I don't know. Is it meme adjacent? Probably. I feel like that'd be a consideration.
Yeah. I mean, that's just like,
that's
like one of the most famous film kisses, at least in modern film history. Like, everybody knows about that kiss, even if you haven't seen Spider-Man.
You ever try it? It's not easy. It doesn't work.
Oh, I mean, Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst went on record and said that kiss was miserable.
Well, I think part of that was probably because they were shooting it, like, in the rain, and they were, like, probably, like, sopping wet for, like, 5 hours during that shoot. Like, no one was comfortable in that scene at all. I'm trying to think of any other ones from the first movie.
I mean, most of Peter and Willem Dafoe's dialogue is pretty iconic, but
Aunt May screaming was memed.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was thinking, like, after he meets Jonah, he goes out to Elizabeth Banks, and he's like, "Hi, I'm Peter. Nice to meet you. I'm a photographer. I can see that." Like, I feel like that's a good template for something.
I mean, can we say with great power comes great... I know that's technically a classic line from the
I don't know that it's a meme. I don't know that it's a meme because, like, it's... I feel like you can use it occasionally if you're, like, changing it up a little bit, but I don't know that it's... I feel like it's too, like, its own thing to be a meme almost. Like, because you can make it a joke if you want, but at that point, you're making a joke of the serious thing that is its own thing. Which I guess a meme is. I'm going down a rabbit hole. I'm a snake eating its own tail right now. It's what the fuck is a meme?
Have we talked about Mary Jane swinging with the puppet?
Yes, that was a thing.
Good one.
The what now?
The dummy?
Oh,
yeah, where she's swinging upside down and they didn't put Peter in the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. They couldn't quite fit it in the frame right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think from 2 that we really want to highlight, meme-wise. I think Pizza Time and the Rent guy makes his first appearance.
Yeah.
So that's something. Huh.
Rent guy.
Yeah.
I'm still calling my landlord that.
Yeah.
I mean, that you saw Spider-Man 3 with his, you know, landlord. Well, in 2, he's way more prevalent, and yeah, he always says to Peter, "Give me rent," in that European accent. "Give me rent."
Yeah. That, like, Warsaw Pact accent. Oh, the Spider-Man suit in the trash can. That was definitely a meme for something. Him just walking away.
That shot was directly lifted from the Spider-Man No More comic, like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
I think, like, that was one of the things is, like, you do have, like, a lot of shots and scenes here that they did take a lot of time and detail to, like, recreate them. And like, I always appreciate that from certain.
Surprisingly,
filmmakers.
one popular meme that people have used for like when people crash, whenever when Peter's trying to swing again and he crashes on the car, he goes, "My back!" Like I've seen people use that emote a lot. My back.
I think that's one of those ones we can kind of combine a little bit with just general Peter Parker in other movies, because I feel like they utilize that in a number of other places too. Oh my god, how do we forget this? Bonesaw! He has to be a meme in and of himself.
I don't know. I think most of the praise that people say about him just because he's Macho Man Randy Savage. I haven't seen any.
Hold up. Are you saying he doesn't deserve praise for being Macho Man Randy Savage?
No, I did not say that.
I want you to think about who you're talking to here.
I know you're a big Macho Man fan, and believe me, I know a lot of people love Macho Man. I'm just saying, like, other than
If Andy won't say it, I will.
What?
I haven't seen any Bonesaw memes on its own. Other than with No Way Home, when like the trailer's coming out and it, like people were like, it's not Spider-Man coming out, it's Bonesaw is here.
I think part of the meme was like that in the trailer someone saw a lizard get punched by air, so they're like, okay, they cut the other Spider-Man out of this shot, but clearly everyone's gonna be there. And people were like, no, it's not. It's Bonesaw with steel chair. I think there was like, I don't know. Was there a thing of like Peter up on the cage?
Oh,
and Bonesaw's
yeah,
like, get down here, and it's like me trying to avoid my problems or something.
Oh yeah. There was also a meme with Doc Ock a couple of memes with Doc Ock. One where he's like doing the science experiment, and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts." I've seen that used as a meme. I've also like the tentacles on their own, just because of how expressive they were. I've seen a lot of people use memes with them.
Yeah. I do kind of want to bring up like, and this is just sort of one of those things. Like, if you're a movie fan, you kind of recognize these sort of things, but like, it's kind of crazy to like look back on these movies and see how many people you recognize from these films. Like, even like little bit roles.
Oh, I was watching the opening credits. I was like, who's Bryce Dallas Howard in this? And I'm like, oh, she's Gwen.
She's not Gwen Stacy. You got her dad was that, what's his name?
James Cromwell.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, he's been in a bunch of stuff over the years. Eric Foreman is Venom. That was a terrible decision, but like, hey, he's there.
He did well in the role. It's just not a good written role. It was kind of like what you were saying about that girl that played that Misa girl or whatever the fuck her name was in the Death Note movie.
Mia,
yeah, whatever the fuck her name was.
Yeah, we removed one letter and, all of her real personality. Yeah, there's him. Who else? Elizabeth Banks is there in a bit role every single time.
I'm sure you knew about this, Al, but she auditioned for Mary Jane, but they...
Oh, I have no doubt.
No, here's the thing here. Get ready to get pissed off. They told her she was too old when she was 28 for the role.
I mean, the first movie, they are in high school.
Yeah, but Peter was obviously 17, clearly. Tobey Maguire was clearly 17 when he filmed that.
I think there's a bit of a difference. Tobey Maguire has a baby face for his entire life.
Yeah.
So, he's like... He looks like a little bit of a child, no matter how old he's gonna get.
It could be because I was, in the second grade when that movie came out, but I thought they were in college. I didn't realize they were supposed to be in high school in the first one.
They graduate high school at the beginning of the first one, so they're technically in college through most of the movie. And then he's like in college through the other two movies. Never really clear on what year he's in, but college age, essentially. Living in New York City. With no rent.
It's a hard life.
Oh, yeah. No, they really play up the he's poor in all of these movies thing. Like, who else was in here? Like, there was, the Bully
Eddie
Flash.
Defoe was really a lot of people's first introduction to him here.
Yeah, no, he was definitely my introduction to him.
I mean, obviously Willem Dafoe's a classically trained actor, but that was my first experience with him. I never saw him in any other role before the first film.
Yeah, I think for us, he's going to forever kind of be the Goblin guy. At the same time, I've seen some of his other movies. He does good work. Octavia Spencer was the person signing up Peter for the wrestling thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of a wild one, because she's like, been up for Oscars and stuff, right?
I think so.
Like, who else? The Bully, I know he went on to do, like, True Blood or something. I know he just plays a lot of D&D now. Who else? I'm trying to think from the first movie.
I mean, J.K. Simmons, obviously, you know.
The J.K. Simmons is J.K. Simmons. But, like, I'm trying to think of, like, the little bit parts that no one really, like, that you're kind of, like, going, like, oh, you were in this for a scene and a half? I'm trying to think here. I feel like, does the second movie have anyone? Big Pussy's in it, from The Sopranos. He's on the train.
For it.
What was that name?
Oh, they call him Big Pussy. Watch The Sopranos, it makes sense.
Okay.
It's an Italian mob show.
We know.
It's The Sopranos. Everyone knows what The Sopranos are. They just might not have seen The Sopranos. I feel like there was, like, a comedian who was in the elevator with him in 2. I don't know his name. I just know that I've seen his face somewhere before.
Yeah, I don't know it either.
The guy who owns a pizza place was, like, a correspondent for The Daily Show. I know that. I think he had a couple of things. Oh, you know what? No. You know who the guy who owns the pizza place who fires Peter is? It's Fire Lord Ozai.
Oh my god.
Oh no, it's not. It's General Zhao. I always forget who's playing who in the last Airbender movie.
I was gonna say, I'm like, wait, if it's
garbage.
Ozai, I'm like, that's Mark Hamill.
No, the live action. Mark Hamill is not here.
I was
Might have been an
wait,
improvement
what?
had Mark Hamill been here in a couple places, but yeah, no. The guy who plays General Zhao in the live action Shyamalan Airbender is the guy who fires Peter from his pizza job.
Well, take your word for it.
No, I reckon this is what I do.
I was gonna say, have never seen the M. Night Shyamalan Avatar.
You don't need to. You don't need to. It's fine.
The only good thing that came out of that movie is that the girl who played Princess Yue went on to voice Asami.
I'll take your word for it because I have no desire to see it.
Her wig is very fun, though.
Emily Deschanel was in 2.
She was in it?
Yeah, she was one who ordered the pizzas, and she didn't pay for them.
Yeah, because
she went on to lead Bones, right?
Yeah, that was her.
Yeah.
God, who else? I feel like it was just like half.
I mean,
of
obviously, we have to talk about the fact that Stan Lee had cameos in the films because, of course, he did.
Yeah, but at this point, he's Stan Lee. He's not like you're not surprised Stan Lee is in the Spider-Man movie.
I think you were at the time.
I didn't know who he was. Like, and then I feel like back in like 2000, 2001 or whatever when the first movie came out. Yeah, you saw him for like half a second. If you were a big comic book fan, you were probably like, "Oh my god, that's Stan Lee." But like everyone else was just like, "Oh, it's an old man."
Yeah, I will say that watching this movie as a child, I had no idea who that was.
Yeah, I don't think it's till much later, as we get more and more Marvel movies, that we keep seeing the same guy. That we're like, "Who is this guy?" And then you look him up. It's like, "Oh, this is the guy who created a lot of this stuff with some other people who don't get as much credit."
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's got to be someone else there that I'm not thinking of. I know Sam Raimi's brother is like the guy that Jonah is constantly shitting on, other than Peter.
Oh, that you mentioned. That you mentioned, he does look alike.
Yeah, no, that's his brother. I think his name is like Ted Raimi or something. He's kind of like James Gunn, who like always casts his brother in like all the green screen roles.
Oh yeah, Sean Gunn.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, James Gunn and Sam Raimi kind of alike. They have a little bit of cheese. They can do action and comedy. They always cast their brother in a bit role. They always like go back to like one person. Like for Sam Raimi, it's Bruce Campbell. For
Gunn was Guardians, right?
Yeah, Guardians. But he's been in other things for him. I know that James Gunn like I think goes back to Michael Rucker a lot.
Yeah, certain directors have certain actors that they always love to work with.
I mean, Tim Burton is definitely a testament to that.
Oh, he just wants
Yeah.
to marry Johnny Depp.
Okay.
That's why he keeps making Johnny Depp kill his wife.
Yep. That is a thing.
He already got Helena Bonham Carter. Now he needs to get Johnny Depp, and his life will be complete.
Didn't Tim Burton and Helena Bonham Carter like split?
Yeah.
Wasn't
I
that a
think
thing?
they did, but
so.
like,
Yeah.
even so, you could be like, he only wanted to be with her so he can get closer to Johnny.
I mean, even, and this is like me just going off of Sleepy Hollow, which Johnny Depp is also in, and Tim Burton's then, like, significant other was also the villain in that one, who, Johnny Depp also killed. So there's that theme just all throughout that.
So, Johnny Depp kill my wife?
Yeah, I guess
And-
that was his thing.
I feel like we're doing way too much psychoanalysis on Tim Burton for this Spider-Man podcast.
I know, I'm sorry.
I mean,
No, I
It's,
appreciate it. Next
it's,
Halloween, maybe we can look into it a little more.
So what I'm hearing is we could put Raimi, Gunn, and Burton in the Spider-Man meme where they're all pointing at each other.
A little bit.
Maybe.
Why not? I would love to count that meme if it came from here. Honestly, the 60s Spider-Man had a lot of really good memes. Huh. I don't know. We have anything else to say about this?
I don't think so.
Nope.
Alrighty. Wow. So Spider-Man 3 loses out to Revenge of the Sith for memes per capita this time around, but, we might explore some other things about Spider-Man later on for other reasons, because some people still haven't seen all of them. But beyond that, next week, what are we doing next week? We got more memes, we got more meme movies, and we might as well stick in the, arthropod? I know arachnid versus insect, I know the difference there, but are they both arthropods?
Trying to think, I don't think so.
So bees, what's their classification? Do they not have, like, the exoskeleton?
They do.
They do.
So,
Well, that's an
They're-
arthropod, isn't it?
yeah, they're an arthropod. They're
Okay.
So, bees are kind of in the arthropod family. They don't have a carapace, though, but they're in, like, the same family as ants.
Yeah, I know they're an insect. And I know that spiders are arachnids, and we're getting very technical for no reason, just a sort of transition. We're watching Bee Movie next week, because that's one of the things that everyone considers to be the ultimate meme movie, so we'll have to see if it stacks up against Revenge of the Sith, or even stacks up against Spider-Man 3, because who knows? It might have less memes. Maybe not. Maybe more. I don't know. We're going to have to rewatch it. When's the last time anyone saw this movie?
I have yet to
Oh,
see it.
God.
Oh my god.
I have it on DVD. You can come over.
Okay, we're all just gonna have to watch this together then. If you actually have it. So-
Okay. Elle, what are you gonna do if it actually ends up having a ton of memes?
See, here's the thing. I have a pretty good memory for the most part. I don't think it does. But we'll see what happens. If it ends up having a ton of memes, then it wins. Like, that's how the tournament works. That's how the competition works. I don't know what else we're gonna do. Alright, we'll see you guys next week. Watch Bee Movie, and come for the memes. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, and if you haven't already, check out some of our previous episodes, our daily gaming videos, or our parody series Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!